It's been a tough year for many U.S. fruit growers after spring freezes hit orchards across the country.
Some of our farmers in our network have experienced total loss or near total loss of some of their crops.
Early on, we knew that the peach situation was dire.
As our spring temperatures fluctuate drastically between warm and cold temperatures, we're going to experience more of this type of loss.
It's Saturday morning at a farmer's market in Silver Spring, Maryland, and many fruit stands are looking a little bare.
Farms across the country that are growing tree fruit, apples, peaches, pears, all experienced a similar situation where their trees were in bloom, a freeze happened, and they lost a significant amount of their crops and are now trying to figure out how to deal with that loss and what resilience looks like in the face of climate change.
It's a massive hole in our revenue.
Ben Wenk is a seventh-generation farmer from Pennsylvania. His farm, Three Springs, lost about 95% of its stone fruit, and he predicts his apple harvest will be down about 50%.
It is 100% attributable to climate change. This is the first time that the change in climate has resulted in a catastrophic frost injury of this magnitude.
There's very little that's happening on this tree.
Spring freezes also wiped out a huge portion of the apple crop at this Wisconsin orchard. With fewer apples left to pick, the orchard is making a tough call, cutting back the number of weekends it will open to visitors this fall.
We're a little disappointed because we're a newer orchard and we want to be reliable. We want this to be a location that people know that they can come every weekend during the fall. And when we have to change that, we are worried about confusing our market and our customer base.
In New York, the State Department of Agriculture and Markets estimates growers lost more than $30 million worth of apples, stone fruit, and other crops. Late spring freezes have always been a challenge for fruit growers, but scientists say climate change is making them more common.
Budburst is happening earlier and earlier as climate warms.
Kat Chamberlain is a climate scientist at the Nature Conservancy. She says that while trees are blooming sooner, the average date of the last spring freeze is not changing at the same rate.
And if that timing is perfect, where it hits right during that period of time when the tree is most sensitive, then we're going to see these really big events occur.
As fruit farmers across the country deal with the fallout, the nonprofit Fresh Farm is one of many market operators stepping in to help some of the hardest hit orchards. One way it's helping is through a temporary policy that allows the Mid-Atlantic orchards to resell products grown at other farms.
And the point of that is so that they can stay in business. You know, doing nothing would have been catastrophic for a lot of these farmers. They operate on such thin margins, and so being able to allow them to sell products at market through this really troubling time was really critical for us.
For many farmers, the damage is done, and their focus is shifting to the long road ahead.
A lot of them are thinking about ways to adapt and implement preventative measures, but I think there's a big question about will the way that we grow fruit, where we grow fruit, and how much we can grow, will that have to change?